Was that something you were taught in school, and did you know about this?
No, I was not taught that in school. I'm not aware that there is a KKK presence in Canada.
No, my only knowledge of the KKK does not come from school.
I wasn't taught about it being built here, but I've learned about the KKK.
You learned about it in school?
No, we didn't yet.
Okay, welcome back, people. To all my supporters, subscribers, I thank you. Here with another video, and I'm going to be talking about the Klux Klan in Canada. It's one of the last books I read, and I made a post on TikTok. I showed you some pictures of some KKK members in parades in Canada, and it sort of got a lot of traction on TikTok. People were talking, and I figured, let me do another video, bring you some more info, and see what people have to say about the topic, because I feel like a lot of people didn't really know about it. I didn't know about it, and after I finished this book, it was just surprising, man. So I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to make it too long, but I'm just gonna start off with some information about the book that I learned, and then I'm gonna show you why we're here, why we're at 36 Toronto Street. So I'll get into that. I had to make some notes because I'm not gonna remember it off the top, but I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So this whole thing starts out with the Birth of a Nation film. In 1915, it came to Toronto, it came to this city, and it showed at the Royal Alexandra Theatre, Macy Hall, and Christmas, and this was showing like twice a day. And basically the Birth of a Nation was just, I think, like a 3-hour-long short film with KKK members, coming in on horses and fighting black people. And I didn't watch it, but I hear that's what it was, and it sort of sparked that uprising, right? Black communities lobbied against it. The premier, William Howard Hearst, they fought against him and the members of the provincial government to stop the showing of this film. They said, it's not right. The efforts failed. They still showed it anyway. And one of the things that I found funny and shocking was we have a street named after him on the south of Keele and Wilson, and there's actually a town named after him in northern Ontario. So things to think about. You look at our history. 1915, our Toronto Mayor Thomas Langston Church was a member of the Orange Lodge. Sir John A. Macdonald, former and first Prime Minister of Ontario, John Diefenbaker, another Prime Minister. And basically, the Orange Lodge was like this group that sort of was tied in with the Conservative Party that, they did some messed up shit. Like, they were corrupt. They would go in and try and, sway the elections, and they wanted, their whole idea was to keep a white Canada. They wanted pretty much what we have now, they didn't want. The French, they didn't want. The Catholics, they didn't want. They wanted that white British world. And what we have now, that's what they were fighting against. So the Conservative Party, they dominated, and in the provincial and national affairs, the Orange Lodge was in it. They had their hands in there, the politicians were everything, and they swayed the votes, and they were able to get their way. Some two KKK leaders you'll find in this book is Charles Lewis Fowler and James Henry Hawkins. There's a lot of infamous people in this book, and they talk about, what they did, and the assaults, and they were talking about they're doing burnings of the crosses and all that stuff. I'm getting a bit too much into it, but I just suggest get the book and read about it, because honestly, it's eye-opening. So I just really recommend it. One of the reasons why we came here in this location, 36 Charlotte Street, is because they actually opened the office here. The KKK leaders opened the office here in 1925, January 1925, and this is crazy because I didn't know this. I don't feel like schools teach this, and the building's still here. It's not that, you think it's such a long time ago and, it's all past, but the building's still here where people were here, and they're pushing these hate speech and that whole agenda. So the reason we came here, and I want to talk to some people if they're walking by and see if you can get some perspective and see what they think of the whole situation. Let's start with your name.
Sage.
Sage, thank you so much for stopping and talking. Today the topic is KKK in Canada. I know this is more educational. It's not foolish. Don't be embarrassed. Don't worry. There was a KKK office here that was built in 1925. I just want to know, what are your thoughts on that, and were you taught about that in school? KKK in Canada. What do you think about it?
I wasn't taught about it being built here, but I've learned about the KKK in school.
So it's not surprising they told you about what had happened and everything in it?
Not really. There's a lot of stuff that people would think would be surprising, but it's just not surprising to me, because that shit happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just everywhere, and that since it's here, it's just I'm not surprised that it was here.
What's your name?
Owen.
Owen. All right, I'm Tashawn. Basically, we're doing a video about the KKK in Canada. It's a heavy topic, but the reason why we're standing in front of Macy Hall is because they actually showed the birth of a nation here, and that was the whole film that sort of sparked the KKK movement in Canada. What I want to know is, did you learn that in school? You know of the history of that in Canada, and what do you think of the film that was showed here? Do you think they should have showed it?
I don't know about the film, but I do know my only knowledge of the KKK does not come from school. Did not learn about that in school at all.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Okay, so do you think, what do you think of that they showed it here? Because people were fighting against it, saying, they shouldn't show it here. It's not, it's offensive. So do you think that the government should have stepped in and pulled the film?
But is it education? Was it supporting KKK, or was it educating us on how bad it is?
It was kind of I don't think it was education, or I didn't watch it, but from the descriptions of it, basically said they showed, men hooded KKK
So
regalia, and it was showing them shooting black people and fighting it off, and that sort of sparked that movement to,
I would have found that offensive personally, but I haven't seen it. I don't want to speak on it, but from the sounds of it, that doesn't sound too good. But yeah, this school thing is sad. I want to learn more. They should talk more about it in school, I think.
What?
A YouTube video?
Yeah, a YouTube video.
About what?
KKK in Canada.
Okay.
Heavy topic, yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
what do you think about it?
What do I think about it? Well, I think it's horrible, especially in Canada, yeah?
You learned about it in school?
No, we didn't yet.
Did it yet?
We didn't yet.
Are you interested in it? Are you something you want to read about?
I'd like to read about that. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there was actually the movie that they showed here. You gotta get going. I'll talk fast. And it sort of sparked the whole KKK movement. They showed the Birth of a Nation film here, and it sort of sparked that in Canada. So
interesting.
yeah, that's all that now.
Okay.
Is that your class, though?
Yeah, those are my friends from my class.
Okay, I won't hold you up. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Okay,
Thank you.
My name is Taylor.
Naylor? Okay, Taylor, my name is Tashawn. Today we're just basically talking about the ugly history in Canada, the KKK in Canada. While we're here in front of Macy Hall because they showed a film, The Birth of a Nation here. And, that was the nation that sort of sparked the whole KKK in Canada movement. And I just want to know, did you learn about that in school? And where did you learn about that in school at all?
No, I actually didn't. All the information I know about the KKK is what I have either researched myself or that I've known from before.
Okay, so what next we want to know is they even though they did show the film here, people did argue against it, say it's offensive, it's not right because it's showing violence towards black people by the KKK. So I don't know, do you think the government should have stepped in and pulled the movie? Do you think it was right for them to show it?
Of course.
They should have stepped in.
No, I think they should have played it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why? Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Just because, I guess from personal experience, I would like more information in a way on it, kind of thing. Just because I don't very much know too much, I guess, about the whole KKK stuff. So, yeah, I guess I would have wanted to see it for personal, information, I guess.
Okay. So one last question: If you did sort of see a clip of the film and did see it was sort of like a propaganda type of thing, and it was just more of a, because they say that it sort of got into people's mind and sparked the whole movement towards it. If you seen that it was sort of like a whole, I should say, biased propaganda type thing, would you still think you should show it, or you think it's bullshit and just hold it?
Maybe play it somewhere just the internet rather than just in the public kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Henry, thank you for your time. My name is Tashawn, and the topic is the Klux Klan in Canada. While we're in front of Macy Hall, it's because they actually showed a film, The Birth of a Nation here, and that sort of sparked the whole KKK movement here in Canada. So what I want to know is, is that something you were taught in school, and did you know about this?
No, I was not taught that in school. And I'm not aware that there is a KKK presence in Canada, although I am aware that there is racism in Canada.
Wow, wasn't aware. Okay, and my next question is, I should let you know that there were fights against it. They showed the film here for 2-3 times a day, and for years it was showing here, and they fought against it. The government.
Where did they show it?
It was in the 1915 and the 20s, and it's
Okay.
kept going from there.
Okay.
And yeah, so they lobbied against it, and the government they still allowed it to show here. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think the government should have stepped in and pulled it, or do you think they were right to go ahead with it?
Knowing everything now, they should not have let it proceed. But those were different times, and there was a lot of different attitudes back then. That's not a good excuse for it happening, but you do have to kind of keep that in mind, I think, when we talk about this.
Okay, and so that's a wrap. The topic of this whole video, the KKK in Canada. You know, we finally got some people. We got some people, a lot of no's, but we got some few people that appreciate their time and sort of give us a perspective on the topic. You know, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and shout out Des behind the camera. He's been thugging it out in the cold with me. I really appreciate it. And this is the book. If you want to go buy it online and get the physical copy, I would definitely recommend it. Ku Klux Klan in Canada, Allan Bartley. All right. Stay tuned for the next one. Appreciate you.